hello, Sean.
I see pretty things on a plate.
Yes, because I got pretty things on a plate.
Oh, fuck.
You don't know which one's which.
No.
All right.
No, I do.
No, you don't.
I do.
Hand it to me to smell.
No. I know which is which. Hold on. Yeah, I haven't had that one yet. I don't know. I haven't had that one yet. No, this is Henry. This is Henry. I'm handing you Henry.
That is Henry. You're right.
I got it right.
Good job, buddy.
See,
I'm so proud of you.
I just had a season 4 arc.
Oh my gosh.
I just season 4 arced, everybody.
Leodians. Sean here.
Lodians.
What did I say?
Leodians? You combine your
Lodians.
daughter's name with Lodians.
Which just shows how much love I have for those that listen.
No, Leodians are those who are too young to listen, who need to go and fuck the fuck off.
No, we are not going to tell people that share the name with my daughter to go fuck off.
Yeah, we are. We have. We've already told people.
We told people who are under the age of 6, yes, if you are trying to listen to this and you are too young, y'all need to fuck all the way off.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to call them Leonadians. We're just going to call them motherfuckers. Fuck off. Mama.
There's your season 4 arc, I suppose.
So yes, Sean Leodians. Sean has been able to decipher which whiskey is which just from the scent, just from smelling them, just from putting his nose into the sphincter of lust.
That was almost beautiful. I hated every last minute of that. Every last minute. Every first minute was fine,
But then after that,
well, we try to validate each other here, don't we?
we do.
Oh, very good. Welcome back.
Welcome back, buddy.
How are you?
I'm still drunk from the first episode.
Yeah. Oh, well, here's the thing. Fellow young Lodians. Yes, we are continuing our trend of recording 2 at a time.
Yeah. So
that's important information.
That is important information. So we have just finished recording the first episode, which we are releasing on Christmas Eve. So again, I hope you had a Merry Christmas, y'all. And before the New Year starts, we're doing episode 2.
Is this releasing on New Year's? Is it New Year Day? Is it Happy New Year?
No. So the first episode was New Year's Eve. So it was the day before Christmas. We are now coming up on...
The first episode was New Year's Eve. It was the day before Christmas. Ty Longworth.
Yes. So...
No, that's not right.
This is actually... Oh, no. You're right. This is happening New Year's Day. Happy New Year's, guys! Day. Damn it, this counts as one of my research things. Now I got 9 more before you cancel me.
My kitty's now fast asleep, I can pour myself a glass. But too many shows on Netflix are trash, it makes me wanna pass. I can't figure out what to watch, what am I supposed to do? Let's get drunk and rewatch cartoons when we were little dudes. Do-do-do-do-do-do, Whiskey-lodian.
My kid is now a stupid dick. My kid's a stupid dick. We can sit here and pretend like, hey, it's 2025, and
it's 2025.
But it's still September for us.
I know, but still.
Yeah.
Happy New Year's, Lodians.
Yeah. What are you looking most forward to in this year?
You know what? Now that it's 2025, which will be 2025 4 months from now.
Which it is now.
Which is now. So welcome to the future, which is now. What I'm looking forward to the most is really just finalizing everything. I feel like I have a lot of
sounds
plans.
Really dark.
No, like I feel like
dark.
The end of 2024, we've been making all these plans. Like, you know what? In order to make this even better, this is what the plan is. So, like, I'm learning how to make these different bonbons, both regular and vegan style. I am learning how to take care of.
Hold on, you said regular. You saying us vegans aren't regular?
Check your bathroom. Are you regular?
Yeah, I'm vegan.
No, that's not regular at all. Y'all need that extra fiber.
What world planet are you living on, sir?
I have been in this room with you for many, many hours, and you have not taken a shit once.
Sir. Because we've been here for a couple hours.
How regular can you be?
I'm not even sure if there's a metric for that. I'm going to use your word, normal. normal or regular. I think
When's the last time you took a shit?
today.
What time?
Oh, well, I'm not putting times on the board.
Yeah, exactly. You're not that regular.
It was right before you got here because that's why I texted you. I was like, hey, the door's unlocked. I did though, right? I was like, I better let.
Hey, this is gonna take a while. Door's unlocked.
The door's unlocked, so come on in. But where did you find me instead?
I found you outside, basking in the sun, just trying to get whatever fiber you could from the sun rays.
Well, half of that makes sense. No, yeah, I was hanging out with my bumblebee.
Yeah, Bumbleina.
Bumblebeena, yes.
Bumblebeena. She is a lovely bumblebee.
Yep, and then I have Milton. Milton is the lizard who lives in the flowers.
Yes.
This sounds like a weird made-up situation, but that is just what's happening
No,
out there.
I mean, he names the animals that come visit him while he's hanging out on his balcony.
They're there all the time. Milton, I believe, is a chameleon because he oscillates between brown and green. And he's very cute. He'll sit there and look at you for a little bit.
Cute.
He's very cute.
He'll be there. He's very present.
He is very, yeah.
He's very demure.
Oh,
That is specifically for
No.
my friend Sarah, who, if you're listening to this, yes, I'm thinking about you.
yeah, but that's going to be even more
Demure. Because it's very
irrelevant.
mindful.
I hate all of it. I hate it. Here we are talking about lizards and bumblebees, and all y'all want to hear about is the whiskey and the episode we have planned for you.
Which, this episode is really not even an episode. It's a movie.
It is a movie.
We're covering Good Burger 2.
And to pair alongside of it, we're talking about some... I took a couple sips.
Oh, already? Damn, I need to hop on.
I thought it was the thing to do. Talk about this.
So this is the Tullamore Dew Caribbean Rum Cask Finish. So this is a whiskey that has been finished aging in a ex-bourbon barrel, in a sherry barrel, and then finally a Caribbean rum cask barrel.
It's really good. I'll be honest with you, Ty. I'm having trouble describing it, but often when you describe it, I can kind of retroactively tap into some of those things. So can you help me describe this one?
So this one's a bit sweeter because of the rum cask. So you're going to get notes of banana. That's a really strong, prominent flavor, is that banana. But then you also get like some tropical fruit. Maybe a little pineapple. But definitely that banana. And you'll have a little bit more spice because you have that bourbon and that sherry. So that's what I'm getting, is I'm getting like a spiced banana feel.
Yeah, I think I get that.
Which is honestly what inspired the next bonbon creations I have made.
Oh, you saw me eyeballing
I saw you
those.
eyeballing them, yes.
Yeah.
So these bonbons are filled with a chai-spiced banana ganache and a caramel on top. Now, all this is, of course, vegan because Sean is vegan, but it can also be made in a way that is not vegan. I won't say normal because that will trigger Sean. But
Well, it doesn't trigger me.
it is still very
It
delicious.
just sounds silly.
And I want Sean to try it.
Dude, these are really fucking good.
You're really fucking good.
No, seriously, these are... Yeah, that's... I haven't had bonbons in such a long time that I forgot that this was like a thing you can enjoy. I'm telling y'all, get bonbons in your life. Are you making these in bulk?
I mean, I made 6 of these at a time, but I can make them in bulk.
That's not bulk. I mean bulk, like, so that if someone's like, hey, can you make me some bonbons? You can be like, at the ready, here's some bonbons.
Let me rephrase that for your understanding. I have molds that can fit up to like 21 pieces per mold. So I can bulk it, but because it's just the two of us, I only made 6 at a time.
But in case some Lodians are like, hey, I want an order of 1 billion bonbons.
Let me tell you what the goal is, Lodians, ladies and gentlemen, Lodians, blah, blah, blah. The goal is that we want to be able to feature a particular bottle of whiskey for every season. And I want to be able to make bonbons, have like 3 to 4 piece sets that like, hey, these individual flavors are going to pair so well with that bottle of whiskey that we're going to sponsor. /sponsor /promote, whatever it is. Whatever the fuck we're going to do. We're going to say, hey, this whiskey is what we want to drink over this season. And
well, we haven't actively been looking for sponsors. It's not
true.
really our thing right now.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But the truth is, we talk too much shit about Paramount Plus, and we're just not going to get anything from that. So, well, Ty, these are delightful. They pair so well with this, and the way you describe the kind of the rum cask aged, did I say that right?
Yeah, it's a rum cask finished.
Yeah, I do see that tropicalness to it. So, and the banana goulash in there is just. Did I get that wrong? What's it called?
It's ganache.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
Goulash is kind of a mix between ganache and gulag, which is where people get sent before they die.
Well, wait, what's goulash?
Goulash?
No, you bet. He's using.
I'm gonna have to use one of my research. This is my second one of the day.
He is using his second one of the day, and if you followed along last week, yeah, he used it pretty quickly.
A goulash is a stew originated in Hungary.
Well,
so this is not a goulash.
Okay,
it's
at least
ganache.
At least it's a real word. I was worried that like it was like a ghoul, like a ghost had created a stew. You know?
I mean, you're not far wrong. It's the Hungary, so they're kind of ghoulish.
Yeah, that's fair. I think. I don't know. That could be bad to say. Yeah, he said it. We're gonna take away one of his research opportunities just for that. Yeah, you're down to one left.
What? No, I should have 7 left if you're adding one more. So you know what we're covering today? Good Burger 2. And this one came out last year. It came out like November 2023. And Sean and I actually watched it together when it came out. And it was a lot of fun. Like, both Sean and I felt like, hey, let me just go ahead and say this. This is more fun to watch with the more people you have.
Well, and I think that's a good point. It's very true of anything that lives in comedy, right? Because comedy is contagious.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're going to enjoy it a lot more. And I'll also add on to that, I think comedy is its best is if you do watch it by yourself, alone, with no one else, and you laugh out loud. To me, that's like a testament to how funny something is.
That's very fair.
Because
comedy is very subjective.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
And if you can laugh, it's a lot easier to laugh with other people
than
it is to just laugh by
yourself. And I'll speak for myself. Like, if I think something's funny and I'm by myself, oftentimes it can be more internalized because I'm not sharing this experience of experiencing this comedy with anybody. So it's kind of like I know something's funny. I'm enjoying it. Physically, I probably light up and I smile or something like that. But with people around, that becomes even more externalized because I'm sharing it with you, or with Daniel. I think was there with us. So I'm sharing it with multiple people, and so that's just, for me, that's how comedy works. I think it works like that for a lot of us.
Yeah, because if you see something funny by yourself, you might like smile like. But if you're like with other people, you want them to know you're laughing because then they have an opportunity to laugh themselves, so you'll laugh out loud.
Well, I don't know. I think it's less about you wanting them to know, more so that it is like, well, maybe it's like, yeah, it's like, hey, like we're enjoying this together.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin funny for anybody.
You know what would be really great podcast material? If we just analyze what it means to actually laugh.
And honestly, that would make for good podcasting. Not here. We're not that good, Ty.
No, we're not that kind of group.
We're fine. We're fine. And this movie was honestly more than fine.
It was a lot of fun. What I will say is that if you can get past the first 30 minutes, which is an homage to the first movie. So if you watch the first movie, you're going to see a lot of things like, oh, they're paying homage to that. It may not hit as hard as it did in the first movie, but that's what it's there for. It's there as an homage. And then when it picks up on its own, where it's like, all right, now that we're telling the jokes that you are expecting to hear, we're going to do our own thing now. And oh my, gosh, does it take off.
It found an opportunity to do just that.
Yeah.
Pay some homage. Remind viewers, new and young, old and young, previous and current,
From the past and from the future.
that this movie,
Having just been born and having lived life with experience. Having just started making the recipe to having already completed it.
it's
From people who had just started their now to people who are just waking up.
to those
From the people who just
Oh,
started their
dear God.
bottle of whiskey to those who are like, I need to get another bottle.
We're taking away two research opportunities, and that is 5. You're down to 5, and that's lenient.
You're so gracious.
I don't get called that a lot, so I'm going to take it. Thank you. But it is the first 30 minutes. I agree with you, Ty, because I know, like, watching it, I was a little worried. I was like, we're going down a path that is, I don't want to like call out Star Wars, but it's the best example I can think of where it's like, hey, this is safe. We're going to be safe. We're going to do this, the thing that people like. And dude, like, the reason we're doing this podcast is because we enjoy these shows. We enjoy nostalgia. We like talking about this stuff. I can't say that that's not some of the core here.
Right.
So I use Star Wars as an example, and it's like, yeah, they went perfectly safe because it's fucking nostalgic. Yeah, episode 7, whatever. It's the same as episode 4, A New Hope. That's fine if you're into that. Kind of a bad comparison, but let me get back on track. Good Burger 2 kind of allows us to enjoy that for a little bit, and then says, all right, let's do something new here.
If I can be so bold as a shared experience.
Be bold.
So as a reminder for those that are listening, our lovely Lodians, I worked at the Comedy Zone here in Charlotte for many years. And we had a comedian, oh my goodness, Bill Witherspoon, which you would probably recognize him from like the Friday movies, from the Boondocks cartoon series. So he gets on stage, and I really admired how he gets on and he does the things that he's so well known for. Does that bang, 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 like all the jokes that people love him for. And then he does that for like 2-3 minutes. He goes, all right, guys, shut the fuck up. I'm doing new stuff now. He gives them what they want, and then he gets into what he actually wants to do. And that's kind of what Good Burger 2 did. It's like, hey, let me give you the greatest hits that you guys wanted to come back for. And now we're going to do something a little different. I don't even say different, but just more so like, hey, let me actually do something new.
Yeah, and it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
respect
super
that.
happy.
It is I mean, I don't know, art's risky. Like, it might not work. I'm glad that we have an opportunity to sit here and just talk about something we enjoyed. And this movie is one of those things we really enjoyed.
We had a lot of fun together.
Yeah. Do you have a little fun fact situation going for us?
I do. So, of the original movie, there's only 5 people that come back, at least physically. So, Kenan Thompson, Kel Mitchell, of course, but then we also get Josh Server, Lori Beth Dinsburg, and Carmen Electra. So, they're the only actors who come back, but there is a little cameo with Sinbad. So Sinbad was originally the teacher, Mr. Wheat, I believe was his name. But he actually is a voiceover. He plays the business manager as he's talking to Dex about like, hey, you have this thing, your investors are pulling out. Sorry, buddy, you're out of a job.
Wait. Oh, he was on the phone.
Yes.
I have seen this twice.
I missed it. That
That is a great subtle nod. Really?
Yeah.
That's weird. He's his business manager?
Yeah, I mean, he plays a different character. He's not playing the same person.
Okay. His voice, though.
Yes.
Okay, so that's that's cool.
So he comes back as a different character.
I was like, that doesn't make any sense if that was Mr. Wheat as
I mean, it could be. It's
It
like,
could be.
hey, I went from being a teacher to getting schooled by a kid who somehow got a job at a burger place to then like being his manager and working for him
Who
because
ruined
he now
his car
has
twice?
twice.
Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of cool though. If it's, I like the idea. That's awesome though.
Right?
I like little subtleties like that. We will get to Josh Server here soon, but I just want to say, best cameo ever.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But
I love
we'll
it.
pause. We'll get
Yes. So, other fun facts. So, there actually was already a sequel to Good Burger that was done in a book form called Good Burger To Go. And so, it was published in 1998, and it follows Ed and Dexter trying to license Ed's sauce to sell, which unfortunately, a good pot of Ed's sauce is empty, and Ed isn't available to make more due to the fact that he's trying to track down a customer to return 18 cents in change, and that customer... let's see, let me go right here. That customer's already in Europe, so he ends up traveling to Paris and gets mixed up in a kidnapping plot, while Dexter's trying to track him down to get him to make more sauce.
That makes so much sense.
And honestly,
Yeah.
I kind of wish we had that.
I hope we get that. That's such a perfect premise for Ed.
And you know what was really funny, because when they come back in, I was like, oh, I haven't seen you in 5 years. The movie takes place years later, so it's been more than that.
Was that the
So-
idea? Was that it's supposed to be 5 years later after?
Well, I don't think so, because there's no way Dexter had a niece during that time.
Yeah.
In which case, spoiler alert, he now has a niece, which you'll see in the movie. But
I don't think we have to say spoiler alert. I mean, we're talking about Nickelodeon.
yeah, we're talking about a movie that premiered on Paramount Plus,
Yeah.
and actually, surprisingly, debuted as the most watched Paramount Plus original film, surpassing Pet Sematary: Bloodlines.
And I don't really know what the second part of that is. That's Stephen King.
Yeah,
Right?
but it's like, hey, this is a Stephen King offshoot movie we're making.
Huh. All right.
So, regardless, yeah, so that was a lot of fun to be like, oh, hey, here's all this information, and here's some plot. I haven't seen Ed in 5 years, probably because the last time I saw him, I was tracking him down in Europe, which we don't know, but that's kind of what it plays along.
Okay, so this is okay. I see what's happening. So this is supposed to kind of give a little nod to that novel.
I'm assuming it is not official.
Okay.
But that's the creepypasta you can put on. It's like, hey, if you're basing off the book,
It's
ended up going
not
on this-
creepypasta.
I mean, I guess it's not creepy, but still, it's just like, hey, here's this original book that came out, and now I'm saying, oh, hey, I haven't seen you in 5 years, even though it's been years between the first movie and now. On top of which is like, hey, here I was a high school student working this burger job, and now I'm in my 40s. Like, there had to have been other adventures.
There is just having this conversation with you right now. I just realized, there's an opportunity if they want it to go and do all the middle bits, the Lion King 1.5, if you will. I am absolutely here for it. Like, put it in theaters. Take my money. I want to go see it.
I'm totally down.
Yeah.
Because they had a whole bunch of cameos in this movie.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, how does this thing start off? Like, what's going on in Good Burger 2?
So Good Burger 2 starts off very much like how the first movie does, where it seems like you're in a dream of Ed's, where he's sitting there and he's going about starting his day at Good Burger, and then the food starts to talk and sing with him. And then it turns out, no, you're dreaming, and he wakes up because he's getting yelled at by Pete Davidson. You look at him as like, motherfucker, I'm trying to order some food.
Yeah.
And that's
I forgot Pete Davidson shows up.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the very beginning.
Very beginning.
But yeah, so he's sitting there wanting food, and of course, Ed is daydreaming, Kel Mitchell, and at which point it then opens up. It's like, hey, it's Good Burger 2, and we cut to Dexter. Dexter is hyping himself up. He has a presentation.
Doesn't he have don't we see his door and it says like director, CEO?
Yeah, it just has a
like
whole
all these
bunch
different
of-
titles,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
And so he is promoting a non-burnable material, like not even material, but like
It was like
chemical.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey, I have this chemical called Burn No More. And scientists told me it would take 10 years to create this, and I did it in 3 months. So I'm going to spray my house with this, and I'm going to put in some fireworks. I'm going to light my house on fire to show you it works.
And he puts together this like presentation in front of investors and the news media.
Yes.
And
And a fire truck.
the fire station, or some firefighters are there.
And so, of course, it's like, hey, I'm going to light my house on fire just to prove you that this works. And it does not work.
It doesn't work.
At all. Like, not even a little bit. Like, of course, we see this fire coming on, and immediately that stuff, like, lights on fire.
It doesn't work. And then who rolls up in an SUV just really upset with
Oh,
him?
Mark Cuban. He's there the entire time. He goes, you just lost me a ton of money. I've lost everything, except I have this sports team, and I have these jets, and I have all this other money, but you owe me because I lost so much.
It's our first really amazing cameo, I
Yeah.
think. And that I think it has been 30 minutes in the episode at this, or in the movie at this point.
No, this is within the first 10 minutes.
Okay, see, this was a part where I was like, okay, I think we're good.
Yeah. They
But-
were
yeah,
aiming
we-
it up. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
because the first movie also introduced the whole, like, hey, we're starting, and Ed is singing with food because he's taking a shower, but the food's singing with them. Like, it very much introduced the same way that the first movie did.
So I'll be honest, like the first movie, I didn't really see a lot of Keenan and Kel sketches in all that. So the first movie on its own was brand new to me.
Okay, fair
So
enough.
there's a bias. I got to acknowledge that bias. Did you see a lot of Keenan and Kel, like all that?
Yeah, so I watched a lot of Kenan and Kel. I watched a lot of all that. So I understood where they were going for when the first Good Burger movie came out. So
even though Keenan and Kel are not the same characters, because Ed.
Well, Ed was in all that.
Yes. So that's what I'm speaking to specifically. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and all that. Like, I didn't really see many Good Burger sketches.
Okay, so I did. So I recognized what they were doing, and it wasn't as outrageous and out there as if you hadn't known about it, it would seem.
Yeah.
But it was very much of, hey, you're kind of pulling the same strings as the first movie, which is very much of, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and play like the greatest hits, which when you're watching a sequel, that's not everything you want to see.
That's fair.
So,
But at least I think maybe at this point it's like, okay, cool. Yeah, things are changing.
yeah. So then you get Dex, and it's kind of the same thing where it's like, hey, here's a person who's leaving school, and he's trying to, like, ride his cool Camaro, and then, of course, shit hits the fan. He ends up crashing in the teacher. He ends up screwing, like, all of his investors because his product doesn't work. And at that point, he's lost everything. His house just got burned because he was trying to prove that his material actually worked, and it didn't. And so he ends up driving around, and he finds in his bag, he still has the yo-yo that Ed got him from the first movie. That was a really nice callback. I liked that. I liked how it's like, hey, I still have this. Because it lets you know that Dex, as much as he's like, I don't want to associate with Ed because he keeps ruining things, that he still values that friendship, at least in some form, even if it's superficial.
Yeah, it's also, and I don't know. It's really nice for just old school watchers and lovers of this stuff.
Yeah. And so at that point, he calls Ed. And Ed, of course, is like, dude, I am there for you. Ed is a ride or die. He is very much. In fact, I don't even say he's a ride or die. He's just a ride.
Yeah.
There's not a point where he was always like, I'd rather die. He'd ride with you.
Yeah.
And so he comes in and picks up Dexter, hits him with the car, of course, which is just per the course.
Per the course?
Per the course. Ed is
I
always
thought it
going
was par for the course.
par for the course, per for the course, whatever
Per
the phrase.
Purse the curse.
Per the curse, we're spurs.
We're gonna workshop that.
I'm not going to Google that because I don't want to waste one of my research things on that.
You could just look it up real
No,
quick.
shut up. I'm
could
not
just-
going to waste it. I'm not going to waste it.
Just think about the
It's
way.
par the course. Ed.
No, it's not. You
So
should look
Ed
it up though.
hits.
Ty. Think about
motherfucker. I am not going to waste my research on that.
think
if you're gonna
about the
ban
way
me
that
later.
your fingertips feel on
So,
those keyboard.
as I was
tops.
saying before, Sean really interrupted me. Ed hits Dexter as he's trying to pick him up. In which case, Dexter's like, I forgot how frustrated and incompetent you can be.
Ty, isn't it like a crazy, like, it's a crazy flip, right?
He
hits
flips,
him
he
and
gets
then
hit,
flips.
in the air, and then he lands in the car.
It's perfectly animated.
Yes.
And, well, it's not animated, but it's animated.
Perfectly comically executed.
Yeah.
At which point, like, Dexter's sitting there trying to feel like, did I make the right decision just reaching out to this guy? And you kind of find out that Dexter, he has a family. He has a wife. He has 5 kids. And as they're introducing the kids, as they bring up the youngest ones, like, it was like, oh, hey, this guy's name is No Mayo. This kid's name is Ketchup. Like, it's like, oh, this kid's name is Mustard. It's like, oh my goodness, this guy's named his kids after everything dealing with food. And then when they bring up the youngest
Were you surprised?
one, I was not surprised, but what I was surprised was the animals. But we'll get to that. Because as they're introducing the youngest kid, who pops up? Carmen Electra, Roxanne. Except they don't play that song when they introduce her. It's some like new song that has Roxanne in the name. But she's apparently a nun who always wanted to take care of kids. So now she's a nanny for Ed.
Yeah, it was a nice sleight of hand.
Yes.
Because you're like, this doesn't make sense. And of course it doesn't.
It still doesn't make sense. But he's got like a wife
Yeah.
who is a trapeze artist.
Yeah.
And not the one that swings from trapeze, but the one who actually just draws trapeze artists.
Yeah.
That was a very, I will generously say, clever line. So at this point, Dex is like, I don't know what to do with my life, and I'm just staying here until I get back on my feet. But he goes with Dex the next day to Good Burger. Except before he even does that, he's in the bathroom, and Dex is like, hey, I brought you some pancakes. He goes, I prefer not to eat in the bathroom. In fact, I like to be alone in the bathroom. And Ed's like, oh, okay. Except there's like maple syrup in the soap dispenser. He's like, why is there maple syrup in the soap dispenser? For the pancakes.
It's such a good answer, though.
It's like, I eat in the bathroom all the time. You want to be weird and not eat, that's fine. But I prepped myself so that I can eat in the bathroom. Not a problem.
Yeah, I remember that response was just like,
Of course you do.
like, well, no, I mean, like why is there maple syrup in the bathroom? For the pancakes. Like, just so matter of fact.
It's like, why do you think I offered you pancakes when you were in the bathroom?
Yeah. Duh. It's for breakfast when you take the shower.
So now I got to ask you,
Yeah.
what do you like in the shower? Do you like food? Do you like a drink? Do you like music? What do you like in the shower?
I will admit, I love a beer in the shower.
Ooh. Okay, go on.
Well, I have a rule that you do need to finish that beer.
Mm-hmm. Say less.
I will.
Say more.
There's something nice about a refreshing cold beer in the shower. I don't know. It wakes me up sometimes, and I'm not talking about the shower in the morning. This is like a late afternoon situation where I'm like, all right.
I need to wake up. I got some more shit to do. Let me drink in the shower.
I mean, sometimes it's like a caffeine drink. Sometimes it's not a drink in the shower. I want to be very clear about that. Coming from a podcast where we drink a lot of whiskey. I have never had whiskey in the shower, actually.
You know, they actually make contraptions for that where you can literally just like take a cup and like dispense it in the shower to drink.
No, that's for your maple syrup.
Either or. I'd say yes and.
Wait, what is do you have a beverage of choice or
I personally
actually you asked me what do you like in the shower, so I'm going to ask the same.
Well, thank you for
question.
reciprocating. Fuck, this whiskey's really good.
Yeah, I'm not going to cut any of this.
So, for me, it's not so much I need something to eat or drink, but I love like just putting music so that I can like dance in the shower. That wakes me up. Give me some good music.
Okay. Back up. You like to dance in the shower.
Mm-hmm. Or sing. Doing
Singing,
karaoke.
yeah, that makes sense.
Karaoke.
That makes sense. But
Mhm.
dancing, that seems a little risky.
I mean, I'm not doing some grand opera in the shower where I'm doing ballroom waltzes.
Of course not. You have what? Like, well, how big's your shower?
Not that big.
You can do like the paso doble in the shower, tops, right? I mean, like,
I can do the whole.
all right. So he is doing what
Any white person would do.
I wasn't gonna say white person. I was gonna say an old would do.
Old white person would do.
Just an old. What an old would do when their hips basically were on their last legs, and that's what you do in the shower.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you give me good music, I'm going to groove.
Okay. All right. I mean, hey, if it's maple syrup, if it's a beer, if it's dancing, Lodians, tell us what you like to do in the shower.
Yeah.
Don't have to get specific. But if you do, Ty's email address, I can leave that in the show notes. So, okay. So Kel has graciously offered some pancakes.
Yes.
And Keenan is just kind of confused right now.
Well, I mean, the whole experience has been confusing because not only did he meet all his kids, he also met the pets. So there's the dog named Attack. Sorry.
The dog is named a cat?
The dog is named Attack. So like, oh, hey, this is Attack. So then a dog attacks Dexter.
Oh, yeah.
And then they had the bird that jumps out of it, and the bird's name is Don't.
Yeah.
Don't attack. It was pretty.
It was who's on first? It's Abbott and Costello.
What's on second?
Okay. It is on third. Yeah, I mean, so, that the joke happened.
The joke happened.
In
which case, you have Dexter going to Good Burger to check everyone out. And that's when you realize, oh, hey, his niece works at Good Burger. Oh, why is things uncomfortable with his niece? Because apparently he asked his sister for money for some other investment opportunity that failed. And so she lost all that money because he couldn't follow through.
Right. As it goes.
That's as it goes.
Yeah.
And so at this point, that's where Dexter's like, I really needed a job. I need some money. Dexter or Ed, can you help me out? And so it's like, well, you're gonna have to talk with the manager. And I want to go ahead and pretend to be the manager. So here I am, making things complicated. Like, why are you asking all these questions? Because that's what the manager would ask. Except the manager comes in, and he's a kid. Maybe 16. Maybe 18 at tops.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. And so at that point, he's like, hey, oh, you're Dex? Cool, you're hired. What? That's easy? Well, yeah. Ed said you're a good dude, and he's the owner of the company. And that's when you realize Ed owns Good Burger now. And apparently he has all the money he could ever need, which is just enough money to take care of his family. And so at that point, I was like, okay, well, cool. I got a job. I'm working. And we go from so many different adventures from, hey, here they are. They have an order for this music artist. In which case, the niece is like, oh, I love this artist. I was going to go see her, but my ex-boyfriend was dumb and broke up with me. And so you have Dexter's like, I see this as an opportunity. And I'm going to go ahead and try to get her a picture with their friend or not.
Yeah, and this is a good, our speed run Shaquille O'Neal mirror.
Yes.
Right? Like we're getting some more callbacks, if you will.
So they crash into the concert. And she's like, thank you for the burger, but also you're interrupting me. The fuck? He's like, well, can I get this picture? I was like, yeah, after the show. Oh, now? Cool, yeah. And he's able to get a picture for his niece beside this artist before they get kicked out. And so then he's like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Hey, we're going to go get drinks afterwards. You should totally come. And for that to be as quick of a turnaround of, hey, I think you're fucking dumb and I hate your guts too. Okay, maybe you're not so bad. It seems like your morals can be bought.
Yeah. And it's also, I mean, you also need to recognize effort when there's effort, right?
And that's fair.
Yeah. And sometimes, we do things and we don't mean for them to feel like they're being bought. But they can come across that way. But is the intent genuine?
Fair enough. Because he genuinely wants to make things better and he genuinely wants to reconnect. But the thing you're realizing with Dexter is that he still is on the quick fixes. What can he do quickly to solve things? And oftentimes you find out it doesn't actually solve things.
Yeah, these can be Band-Aid moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at this point, this is when we're introduced to the lawyer who comes in. He goes, hey, I'm representing Megacorp. Megacorp is trying to buy Good Burger. And Ed's like, nah, I'm happy where I'm at. I don't need any other shit. I'm good. And so at this point, they're like, well, you're going to regret that decision. So now we cut back to when they had that concert. Now they're hanging out. They're now like skating together. And of course, ends up having bowling balls stuck to his hands, which is the crazy antics we're always expecting him to have. But that's when we find these two goons for Megacorp that we'll later find out was like, hey, we're going to try and force you to sign this document to sell it to us. And then it's like, oh, I mean, okay, but I got bowling balls for hands. And of course, the bowling ball gets pulled off, but then it's like knocking one of the goons over the ledge. He falls over like a story, and then the other guy's like, you're going to pay for this. And then the other bowling ball falls off and smacks him in the head.
You said falls over like a story. I realized you meant like an amount of feet.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that a metaphor that people use? Like, man, that thing just fell over like a story. I'm like, what stories are you being told that are so bad? Like, I hope that you get better stories in your life.
Well, thank you.
Fell over like a story. That's fun. I'm using that.
Do it.
I will.
Please and thank you.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not Good Burger without some goons.
Of course. It's not some corporation like takeover without goons.
Right.
And so at this point, you now have the lawyer coming back and say, hey, Dex, I want to talk to you. And Dex is like, why the fuck do you want to talk to me? Like, Ed's not interested. Why would I even bother? But you got a nice car. Okay, I'll hop in. And that's when the lawyer brings him to his house, which is ridiculously huge and got ridiculous things. He got 7 kitchens? Where the fuck is he going to need 7 kitchens for? Yeah, what the fucking point is 7 kitchens?
6 tops.
No, 2 tops. Because at that point, it's like, all right, hey, guess what? I want to make my thing. Sure, maybe I want to make some bonbons. But then I was like, hey, maybe I want to also cook. Well, now we can't share the kitchen. She has her own kitchen. I have mine. If she wants to have her friends over, they can do that while I'm making my stuff for my friends. Like, there's no reason for 7 kitchens.
No, I wasn't saying 6 kitchens maximum. I was saying 6 tops, like in the kitchen. Like a 6 top.
Like 6 tops in the kitchen. So like 6 countertops.
No, like a place where 6 people can sit.
So a table. You're talking about a table.
That's what it is. I want a table. I have a kitchen with an island right now. It's good.
Yeah.
It's not a table per se.
But it's a top. And you want 6 tops. You want a 6-person top.
A 6 top.
Sometimes we need a safe space to think about all that is wrecking the depths of our souls. And there is no safer space to face the wreckage of life than the glorious sanctuary where we cleanse ourselves of the day's sorrow, our shower. But what if you could make it even better? What if you had a solution to unleash the elixir of life to help strengthen your resolve to press on? Welcome to the Good Squirt. Welcome to the first real shower you never knew you needed. Dispense your favorite beer or whiskey from the dispenser while your soul rests to the beating waterfall as it washes the scars and bruises of all who have wronged you. The Good Squirt. Dispense the solution to your suboptimal showering needs. We're the same company that made the slippery shower dance shoes. And we're so confident this will be amazing, we aren't even offering a money-back guarantee. So buy it today, or live a life of regret like my ex-wife, Delilah. You broke my heart, you ice-cold bitch.
Whiskey-lodia, 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 whiskey-lodia.
So the lawyer's sitting there saying, hey, we're not trying to just buy Good Burger. We want to franchise it. So we really just want him to let us make more Good Burger stores, in which case we could even let the other people have raises. And you know what? If you would help me make this happen, I would make you a partner, and then you'd make some money. And so Dexter sees only green flags. He's like, oh, hey, I can make some money, I can get everyone money, and like the Good Burger store will grow. So he convinces Ed to sell. But the problem is that they don't look at the contract.
Yeah, that was kind of the most frustrating thing for me. But also, the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, that's kind of true to their character.
Yeah.
Ed, I don't blame, because sweet man.
Yeah, he just wants to believe the people that talk to him.
Yeah, he's trusting. Dexter, I don't really know how he got where he got to without reading a fucking contract.
Yeah, I mean, he's very much of, hey, quick fixes. If someone tells me something, I want to try to take advantage of that.
It's ooh shiny.
Yeah.
You know.
Ooh, squirrel.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah, so at this point, turns out, hey, they're having a little party. They're like, hey, we're all getting raises. And the lawyer's like, hey, you actually didn't read the contract. We now own it, and we can shut this down now. So, sorry, but you guys are, like, trespassing, so, bye-bye. And that's when Dexter's like, fuck. And it was like, you fucking ruined everything. Even Ed's like, hey, why don't you keep this picture of us? Because it no longer brings me joy.
That
Heart-wrenching.
crushed.
Absolutely.
Do you think this might have been the, I don't want to say turning point, but a moment in, we're about past that 30-minute mark now, I think.
Oh, we're probably well within like half of the movie. It's like 45 minutes.
Okay, so you're in at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like once they had like the cameo where they're like, oh hey, I want to try and get Ed to loan me money, and then they open up the freezer and there's Josh Server's character.
Oh my god,
that was fucking hilarious. It's like, hey, why is this like freezer like stuck? It's like, oh, the handle broke off, and you never put it back on. And they put it back on. They open it up, and there's Josh Server, now grown up. Is like, I've been here for 22 years. That's the thing. So the first movie took place 22 years ago. And then you have Ed saying, oh, I haven't seen you in 5 years. They've been still in contact. There's some more story to be told.
That's all it's been saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, going back. Now, Dexter's trying to fix shit. As he should. He keeps saying, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. And then he finally comes to it. It's like, damn it, it is my fault. Now I got to try and fix this. So he's like, all right, Ed, we're going to Megacorp. We're going to try and talk our way out. And they go, and guess who is the owner of Megacorp?
Who's the owner of Megacorp?
Is the sister of the guy who owned Mondo Burger.
It took me a second, too, when she was introduced. I was like, because her last name is the same, obviously.
Yeah.
But I forgot.
But no one made that that connection until she's like, oh, hey, yeah, my brother had Mondo Burger. Like, oh.
It was perfect because as the viewer watching it, I was like, who? And they allowed us to be
confused.
Dexter and Ed in that moment when they were like, oh, like connecting the dots was a relationship opportunity, I think, for this film, for the viewer. And
honestly, I think that's one of the things that really brought me out. Like, all right, now I'm in.
They did that there. I think they did that throughout the movie, where it's just like, let's empathize with the viewer. Let's not assume they're stupid, because they don't do that at all.
Yeah.
But they do understand, like, it's been 22 years.
Yeah.
Who?
Like,
so that was a really cool moment, I think, for me, where I was also just, I was like, yeah, I'm in.
and so at that point, she's like, hey, let me tell you my master plan. Guess what? Now that I own Good Burger, I have all these franchisees that are going to have robot Eds who are going to be able to take care of everything. So now I don't have to pay an employee. I just have all these robots do it for me. I now own your sauce recipes, so now I don't have to worry about that. That's going to bring in people. And she has them all over the globe. And then she goes, hey guys, why don't you go ahead and ride in my cool automatic car? And they're like, okay, damn, I don't know what we're going to do here. And the car tries to run them over. Like, it locks the doors and it tries to run them off, and they somehow are able to escape. And that's when they're like, all right, we gotta figure how to wreck this shit. Turns out Dex's, and when this actually got brought up earlier, Dex's niece is a computer genius. Ended up hacking the airline industry so that he was able to get first class for free for a couple years.
Ty, this is a good moment to set up the squad.
Yes.
So who do we have in the Good Burger Squad?
So we have the niece, which is the scorned niece of the scorned sister of Dex.
Her name?
I forgot. I'm going to need a napkin, please.
Please stand by for technical whiskey difficulties.
So, of course, we got Ed and Dexter. But then we got Dexter's niece, Mia, who is the computer genius.
Yep.
She's the one that is going to be able to hack into shit. We then have Cindy and Mindy, the twins, that Ed gets so confused because he's like, how is there two of you? We also have Ruth, who is the near-dead driver that they have.
Okay.
At this point, we also have Ed 2. We also have...
Is that...
Yeah, his name is literally Ed.
It's Ed 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think you told me that earlier, and I was like, no, but what's his name? And you're like, no, his name is
literally
it's Ed 2.
And so at that point, they also had the manager. Was named. It wasn't Josh. Who was the manager's name?
All right, you have one more research left.
Shut the fuck up! I have more research than that.
Listen, sweet Lodians, do you want Ty to be here or there? That's really what it's about. I think he's down to 1. He's looking it up right now. That's good. That's good and well. He's got it.
And then we had Mr. Jensen, who was the manager, the one that's like 16 to 18.
Oh, the kid.
The kid.
Yeah.
So that's our crew.
Okay.
And so they're trying to create a distraction. They're trying to sneak by. They're able to sneak in, and Mia's able to go ahead and hack into the computer.
And just to back up, like their whole motive is like they're using Ed's likeness.
Yeah, they made Ed animatronics.
Yeah, to be
sell and be the face of Good
The
Burger.
idea is that there's going to be all of these Ed animatronics.
Yes.
Serving humans good burgers, right?
Yes. I'm glad you finished that because like serving humans, I'm like no, that's not humans. They're serving it's hamburgers. They're serving like meat, not people. But what's not confusing is that Mia's able to hack the system. She's able to disrupt all the Ed robots so that they are full-on chaos incarnate, which is what Ed really is. They were trying to make Ed animatronics were actually competent. That's not who Ed is.
No,
so she goes, no, be like Ed.
Yeah.
And Ed is chaos.
It's a perfect idea.
It was the perfect idea.
Yeah.
But then they get caught and she's running. She ends up getting caught. She's stuck on this little conveyor that's about to like fry her up. And Dexter's like, all right, I gotta save her ass. And so at that point, he saves her. It kind of cleans up pretty neatly because you have Dexter's able to save Mia. Mia and Mr. Jensen ends up like kind of having a little fling that sparks. You have Mega Corporation ends up like, oh, hey, here's all this fraud and danger that they've been covering up. And it just kind of cleans up nicely to where, like, hey, now we got Good Burger back. The lawyer has run off. He's no longer involved. And you know what? This contract's now null and void. And they seem good to go. It kind of cleans up pretty quickly, but in a way that just is spectacularly crazy and full of chaos.
And there's a moment in there where I want to say the twins did something zombie-esque. Do you remember that? Where they're basically they create this they basically they need to create a diversion. They need to get some of the staff out of the building so that Mia can actually go and hack the system. And I think one of my favorite moments was this where they go in and someone's like, we have to get out of here. There's a virus. And they use the twins to kind of do a duplicate situation.
Because if you remember, they actually
Right?
did this
Yeah.
whole thing where like, hey, we're doing makeup on Ruth because we want to put this on like YouTube or whatever it was. And now they're using that to create this whole virus thing.
It's amazing.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it was if Oscars can give an award for best use of twins, that might be a nominee right there.
I would be happy for that nomination.
Yeah. Man, it was a blast watching this with you.
I had so much fun watching with you.
Yeah. I know we always have reservations, right? Those are healthy reservations. It's, something
Yeah.
comes out that you don't want it to Shit, you probably don't want this podcast to ruin your experience with Nickelodeon, right? You need it to be something that everything that comes out that should respect or complement an episode or a movie
Yeah.
should be the ultimate goal.
You want to make sure your childhood is not bombarded with like, oh, this isn't as good as I thought it would be. You want to be able to appreciate what it brought to you.
Yeah.
And this did that.
This did that tenfold.
And sevenfold.
Burgerfold. I had fun with it. I hope that they don't make a Good Burger 3, but I am intrigued with the idea that they have an opportunity to go and do like some of these middle bits.
Yes.
If Good Burger 1 was the bottom bun and this was the top bun, it's time for them to make that sandwich.
I mean, I guess a burger is a sandwich.
But is a sandwich a rectangle?
These questions and more on the Whiskey-Lodeon podcast.
Fuck does that mean?
I don't know. You're asking philosophical questions. You're like, hey, is a hamburger a sandwich? Is a sandwich a rectangle? Is a corn dog considered a stick?
Have people been asking that?